by applying these things, you see spiritual advancement. And then someone will say, okay, well, how do you measure spiritual advancement? And then how do you say that that one is more advanced than that, and that one is more? That how do you measure it? You know?
Yes. In two ways. It's got to do with attachment. One is that our attachment for material things is supposed to decrease, and attachment for serving Krishna is supposed to increase side by side. That's how we measure spiritual advancement. So when your material desires decrease, that's a sign of advancement. Prophet said.
Is there a way to measure that objectively? Like, did the Brahmins or the Vaishnavas have some sort of something in scripture or something in Shastra where they take someone and test them out?
There are qualities. The 26 qualities of a devotee. You know, the qualities also begin to develop. Also Brahminical qualities. So we can see through devotional service as we're advancing, Tadara Jasta Mobhavo Kamadobhariya Chaye, we become purified from the lower modes of material nature, and the qualities of goodness begin to manifest. Equanimity, sense control, sense of austerity, cleanliness, simplicity, arjavam, forgiveness, wisdom, knowledge, religiousness. These are the qualities with which the Brahmanas were. So gradually you get the qualities of the mode of goodness, and then you start to get the qualities of the mode of passion. You know, that you want to enjoy, where you're very attached to the results of your activities. They begin to disappear. So that's measurable qualities. So we can judge a person by his qualities. And of course we can also see in his commitment to Krishna, how serious he is about devotional service. We can see someone is still quite affected by the modes of material nature, but we can simply see that he is a surrendered soul, and that he's ready to do any service, any time. Yeah? I mean, if you're the temple commander in the temple and you have to get lots of things done and you have to ask people, then you go up to number one and you say, can you clean the temple room? And he'll say, oh well, I'd love to do it. But, and then as the temple guy say, please, don't give me the whole story. Just say no, devotees tend to tell you a whole story why they can't do it. And you've heard the stories hundreds of times. All you want is yes or no. And who are the ones who always say yes. Those are the ones you go to first, There's the devotee who always says, oh, Hana, yes. Whatever it is, yeah. Oh, great. That's Temple Commander's dream, devotee. I once met this lady on a plane, and she's sitting next to me, and she was a yoga teacher, and she was going to India, going both to India, and she's going to Iyengar to study yoga there and this, that. And, well, we had a very nice discussion, and in the end, she sort of said, well, what tradition actually you belong to? So I said, Hare Krishna. She said, oh no, oh no, oh no, not Hare Krishna. So I said, well, you ever had any bad experience with Hare Krishna? She says, well, I have a problem. I can't say no. So this Hare Krishna devotee came to the door, and he sold her not one book, he sold her a full set, everything, everything that he had, and she bought it for a fortune, She bought the whole thing. She said, and then, then what she had to go through after that, Her husband came home and just really did a whole number on it. You got cheated, and she is she's ever been the joke of the family, All the books are still standing on the shelf, Standing on the shelf, and every once in a while people are going, that's her books, That's her books, right? So she was really frustrated about it. I said, well, did you read the books? Did you actually read them? She said, no. I said, well, why don't you read them and you'll actually find that they're really good, and then you can tell your family that they're actually really good books. You know? And she said, that's great. That's a wonderful idea, you know. I'm going to read these books and I'm going to tell them all how good they are. She got the way out. But anyway, some people can't say no. You know. And devotees like such people, the surrendered souls. And they will never say no. They make advancement very quickly because they get a lot of mercy. Of course, maybe sometimes over-endeavor kicks in. And what is this point of over-endeavor? When are you over-endeavoring? Give an example of over-endeavoring.
Well, you gave a very good example of over-endeavoring the other night. You make strict vows to fast, to do ridiculous fasts, and end up losing your health because of it. That's over-endeavoring.
Anything that's over-endeavoring for mundane things, anything. Extreme, yeah.
Over-endeavoring in devotional service. Can you over-endeavor in devotional service? Can you do too much devotional service? Is it possible? What do you think? Huh? You're not sure? Well, none of you have been around. Can you do too much devotional service?
It's good to be practical. Especially initially when we get that to be pure devotees like this, sleep on the floor. I mean, doesn't do it right, and then you sit like practicing that in a church. And it happens so hard.
No.
It fries you out and you realize that this is massive a pure devotee.
Over-endeavor?
Yes, you can. Sometimes Krishna just doesn't want you to have anything.
Yeah, over-endeavor means that we, in the name of doing service, we harm our future ability to do service. That is the health issue. That's over-endeavor. We do so much service that your health gets wrecked and you can't do any service. Or we do so much service that we cannot chant our rounds. You know? And then it's time to start saying no, you know. Can you do the kitchen cleanup? No, it's 10 o'clock and I have 14 rounds left. No. You should have said no a little earlier maybe. So there are also limits and one has to balance it. The basic practices of chanting 16 rounds, that is survival. That is not, that's just a survival. And if we never have time to read a book, well, then we'd have to discuss that with our authorities, because if we never read a book, then one day we're going to feel all that nice transcendental service as a burden. You see. But by reading a book, we keep a transcendental vision. Because otherwise we do transcendental things, but we lose the transcendental vision. And then very soon, everything in devotional service becomes a burden. Okay, we're back to your map, and I don't have time to do these ones in no space either. So we'll just summarize a little bit what you did. And looking at pleasure, you spoke about prasadam and knowledge, intellectual pleasure. Okay, so there is the intellectual plane, the mental plane, and the physical plane, and above it is the spiritual level. Spiritual, intellectual, mental, physical plane. So you can experience pleasure on all of these levels. You can experience, there is sense pleasure, just seeing the beauty of the deities. There's a pleasure there. It's amazing. The opulence. All the senses are